Good evening, YouTubers. It's been a while since I made a video. It's probably been close to 3 weeks. Partially, just I've been really busy. Another part is that when I was going to make a video the end of last week, my keyboard and mouse and wireless device, one of those three, broke on me, so I had to get them to send me out a new one free of charge. But a lot of things have been on my mind. I don't know if I can cover them all in one video. I might have to make a couple of videos. So this one's going to be the whole presidential election coming up. Uh, the guy I support isn't going to solve all the problems or the ills of the world. He's not going to solve every problem in this country. This country has a lot of problems, and not one man can do it. It would take a collaboration of the whole, each individual to actually pitch in to right this ship. But I'm a little disturbed by the negative campaign ads that John McCain has been putting out there because it's really full of over-the-top accusations. And how can you get fooled 3 times? Okay, we got fooled twice by Bush, not myself, but obviously the country did because they elected him, or let's just say they elected him once. The first time is debatable. But they elected him off of this, Osama bin Laden wants John Kerry to be president. That wasn't the only thing, but that was the whole, Sean Hannity, Rush Limbaugh, right-wing crap line. And they said that Osama bin Laden would endorse John Kerry as president, which, truth be told, Osama bin Laden could care less who's in office. It really doesn't matter to him. He's not going to change his point of view on this country. So, just a bunch of garbage. But then people pick that up, and it really scares me that we live in a country that people pretty much take the things they see on TV and don't do much research on it, and just spout it out as if it were fact. One example is I was talking to some of my coworkers, and the election came out. The politics came up, and you're not really supposed to talk politics, and not at work either. But it was an organization day or whatever, and we decided, and I said, hey, I know we're not talking politics, but the Obama thing came up, and he was saying how, at first he thought he could vote for him, but now he doesn't think so. And I said, well, what's the problem? And he's like, well, he's going to raise taxes, and in the state that we're in, it's the worst time to raise taxes. And I simply said, well, do you realize that this war is the first war, the Iraqi war is the first war in United States history where they didn't raise taxes, and therefore they borrowed the money to fund it. 24% from China, I believe, and these numbers may be a little off, and another 23% from Japan. And I didn't bring this up, but I started thinking, so you are paying taxes because slowly the dollar is eroding away, and your dollar pays for less goods. So in a way, you are paying taxes. You just don't know it. But it got me to thinking. I didn't have the numbers in front of me, so I didn't say anything. I'm gonna put up a picture. I looked this up myself. I got it from it's by the Tax Policy Center, and it was a joint project by the Urban Institute and the Brookings Institution. And it shows you here, and I'm going to put it up here, and I hope you can read it. Basically, John McCain cuts taxes for everybody. There's no doubt about that. But the bigger tax cut goes to people who make above $2.87 million. They get a 4.4% tax break, which is $269,364 less in 2009 dollars. In 2009, average percentage change after tax income in 2009. And the next biggest tax cut goes to people that make from $603,000 to $2.87 million. Get a negative 3.4% tax break, which is about $45,000 tax cut. Followed, and if you can read it, hopefully you can read it. I'm not going to go through all these numbers, but it windows down to where the people in the range that I work with, people that I work with, from anywhere from 37 to, let's say, 70, rounded up, uh, they get a zero point 0.7 tax break, which averages out to $319 less in 2009 tax dollars. You go to the Obama side, and he actually increases the people making $2.87 million. He increases their tax by 11.5%, which is plus $701,000. And the next bracket, he increases it by 8.7%, which is $115,000, almost $116,000. The next one, they actually get negative $12. And then by the time you get down to my tax bracket, I will actually pay $1,290 less in 2009 than I paid in 2008. When it comes down to it, both of them, to me, uh, although I like Barack Obama's plan better because they're taxing the people who can afford it more than myself, and they're not taxing the middle class. They're actually taxing the wealthy. And I say the wealthy. They're not the wealthiest, but they're certainly well far beyond anybody I know. They're not hurting. They're still driving around their SUVs. They're still driving around their Hummers. They still have 2.5 cars. They still live in a gated community. They're still living it up, and so I don't feel so bad for the people that have to pay a little bit more because they're making a lot more. But when it comes down to it, the tax decrease for a whole, Obama is taxing 0.3% less. McCain is tax cut is 2%. To me, something's got to be done anyway. We have to tax people to pay for this tremendous amount of borrowing we have been doing over the last 40 years. Somebody has to pay for it. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm starting to pay for it, and my kids are really going to pay for it, and who knows where their kids are going to be. I may not even recognize this country when my grandkids come along, if I'm still on this earth. So yeah, it got me to thinking, and I did print these things out and give them to a few people who were saying that, just to get rid of this disinformation that is out there that the Democrats get in, and we are going to pay a lot more taxes. Well, some people will, but it's the people who can really afford the most to pay a little bit more, and I don't have a problem with that at all. Um, Again, I'd like to see maybe 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 pay for myself, maybe not get the $1,290 tax break, maybe just break even for myself. I mean, I'd like to pitch in to help this country turn around financially. I don't think it's going to happen, but bottom line is this: I've seen, and I'm going to go back to the McCain ads that I've been seeing, which is basically just an attack on character, trying to attack his character, trying to show that. So skipped over was the fact that he had gone to Iraq and Afghanistan uh, and the 200,000 people in Germany. Danke. Hope I'm saying that correctly to my German subscribers out there. Thank you for showing up and showing support. Some ignorant people over here don't seem to think that we need allies over in Europe, that we need our friends over there to exist. They still seem to think we're in the old days of going it alone, and normally those people are John McCain supporters. Um, so, but anyway, yeah, these ads that have been coming out lately are just really irritating. Um, the one that bothers me the most is blaming $4 and $5 a gallon gasoline on directly blaming Barack Obama for this. Let's not forget the last 6 years of an 8-year presidency uh, for any of this, mess that we're in. Yeah, Obama caused gasoline, and I'm not putting a blame on any one person, so I'm not going to put it strictly on Bush, but certainly his policies in this world did not help at all. And the fact that you can put an ad out blaming Obama for $4 and $5 gasoline is just preposterous. And not only that, even, which I have no problem going after our natural resources in this country, even if you started to drill in all these places that these ignorant people seem to think is going to change the way we do business, and is going to change the get our dependency on foreign oil and make it at nil. Even if you drill in those places, you're not going to see any drop in the pump for another 10 years. So it takes a tremendous amount of time to set up these oil rigs, to get these things drilling, and to get it through the refinery and then down to the pump to where you're going to notice it. So to sit there and blame Barack Obama for $4 and $5 a gallon gasoline, if you elect if that's the reason you're going to elect John McCain, then you're an idiot. I'm going to just say it right now. If you believe that ad,